Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. Lesson today is right back to KISS. Whenever people are working on carburetors, they tend to get kind of overcomplicated and think that there's more going on than there actually is. I mean, they're not simple, but they are mechanical. I mean, most of the time you can see exactly what they're doing. And here's an example. We had this square body that we broke in the cam on. I got the rockers all swapped out. They had some 1.3 rockers on it to break in the cam. I got the 1.5s on it and it's running again. And we knew when it was running awful lean. And we were going to adjust on the carburetor. I thought, it's got an Edelbrock square bore intake with a frog chaser on it. So I thought, well, with that adapter plate underneath there, I better pull the carburetor off and take a look. You see the imprint of where the vacuum port runs underneath that carburetor. You see that? Now, take a look at the vacuum ports underneath there. He was sucking straight manifold out the bottom of the carburetor. So we're going to get some different gaskets and see if we can get that pinched off, and maybe it will, I don't know, run right. Maybe. Probably not. I didn't post yesterday because yesterday was a bad day. I am riding two wheels for the foreseeable future because my son blew up his truck. That old rusty piece of junk you've seen. Well, the engine gave out before it broke in half. Kind of figured it would. Doesn't surprise me. But I was working on one, that old High Sierra that was standing way up in the air with the brakes that were all wonky on it. Well, I think that the reason that the brakes were pulsating really bad is because the rotor was crushing. It was just crushing it. There is not much left of those vanes in there that hold the rotor apart. Surprisingly, all the calipers, I ended up doing brakes all the way around, and all the calipers were good and more or less free. We had one front one that somebody had it apart, and when they put it back together, the little rubber anti-rattle stopper, plunger, doohickey mabobber on the end of one of the slide pins, it slid off the end of the pin, and then they put it together with a different one that still had the rubber piece on it, and instead of going through the middle, it folded up and it wouldn't go all the way in there, and ended up, when I tightened up the pin, it twisted the rotor sideways. And I took it out and double checked everything, what in the heck, and then I tightened it up again and it twisted the rotor sideways. Well, that ain't good. I ended up taking it all back apart, put the thing up in the vise, and what I ended up having to do is take a drill bit and drill down in there, and I caught that rubber that was down there in the bottom and chewed it all up a little bit, and then I took an air hose and blew it all out and lubed up the pin, put it together, and everything was good. I was supposed to have it done and out yesterday. It left this morning, but customer's happy. He's got brakes all the way around. It brakes smoothly now. I unhooked the elements for his seat heater because they were they turn on by themselves, so that was a hot ride. But, getting things done. So, like, comment, subscribe, use your little buttons down there, share it around, and we'll talk at you later.